Welcome back, America. We're here with our friend Marc Thiessen, Fox News contributor, outstanding columnist at the Washington Post. You really are, Marc. Let me ask you this, Marc.
Thank you.
We've done everything we can thanks to this commander-in-chief, thanks to this president, thanks to his courage, thanks to the strength of our military to bring us to the point where the Iranian regime is on its back. Now, it's been on its back for 8 or 9 weeks. The first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, whatever it was of our military operation, that's been spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. We're into the 9th week of a 2-week ceasefire and that sort of thing. They keep firing missiles, their Hezbollah does, and so forth and so on. So my question to you is, where are we going right now, and how much longer can this go on?
Well, so before we talk about where we're going, let's talk just for a second about where we've been and how far we've come. Because as you said, the decision to launch Operation Midnight Hammer and Operation Epic Fury is one of the most courageous decisions any president has made in my lifetime. Midnight Hammer buried the Iranian nuclear program so deep in the ground that the Iranians have told us they can't get it. We have to come in and get it if there's going to be a deal. The centrifuges have been rendered inoperable. The conversion facility has been destroyed. Their nuclear program is set back decades. All right. Then Operation Epic Fury, 13,500 strikes, plus 8,000 Israeli strikes, destroyed 82% of their defense industrial base, sunk their entire navy, grounded their entire air force, decimated their ballistic missile, both their fleet and their production. These are decisions no other president would have made, and no president after will make to repeat, which is why it's so important that we do not lose the gains that Donald Trump has made. And my big concern with the deal is that the Iranians are down, but they're not out. They're on their backs, as you say, but they could get up, and we should not give them a hand to help them up by giving them a dime as part of any deal, right? I forgot the blockade, which is absolutely crushing their economy. So they're economically crushed, they're militarily crushed, but they are not giving up because, as you pointed out, they're like the Nazis. They're no moderate Nazis. They're no moderate Islamic radicals in Iran. They want to survive. They want a nuclear weapon because they want to use it. And so they're going to keep going. And so if we negotiate a deal with the Iranians in which they give us the nuclear dust, which quite frankly, it would be nice to have, but we don't need it because it's so buried that they can't get to it, in exchange for what? In exchange for frozen assets? In exchange for sanctions relief? I'm hearing talk about some international fund of $300 billion for the reconstruction of Iran. We should not give Iran a penny. A deal is not worth a single penny to the Iranian regime. And so, and also, no wink and a nod to the Qataris to give them money. No wink and a nod to other Arab states to give them money. No money for the Iranian regime. We should not lift them up off the mat. And that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to get us to negotiate a deal where they don't have to give up the things that Trump is asking, but they do get money. And they want money up front. They want money from the Qataris. They want money from other people because they are trying desperately to survive. And we should not help them survive in any way, shape, or form.
You know, you and I agree, and others agree, on the spectacular nature of our military achievements here. And that's why we're particularly concerned that we follow through with them. But my question is, how much longer can these negotiations go on? They're getting more belligerent. They're seeing that Hamas has a free hand in many respects. I'm just getting concerned about this. What is your take on that?
Well, I would have not done the ceasefire to begin with, because we were about 10 to 14 days away from finishing off the entire target list. So, you know, I said we destroyed 82% of their defense industrial base. I'd prefer it to be 100, and we were on track for it to be 100. I'd prefer to finish the job. Now, Donald Trump, if he had done the ceasefire, started the blockade, sailed the ships through to do that, rearmed the way he did using the time, we now have double the combat power in the region that we did at the start of the war. And so if he had then turned around and used that right away to finish the job, we'd be in a much stronger position in terms of negotiations right now. What the Iranians think now, whether they're right or not, the Iranians think that they have taken control of the Strait of Hormuz and used it as leverage to force Donald Trump to stop the war. And so they think they have cards. And so that means the negotiations aren't going to go anywhere. to an acceptable what Donald Trump would consider an acceptable deal. So that's where the danger of where we are now is.
All right, let's dig into this a little bit more when we return. We'll be right back.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.